Is the iPhone XR worth it in 2026? In a quick review. Now, this phone came out on October 26, 2018, and this was a controversial iPhone for Apple because it only had one camera and an LCD display. Now, this phone came in three storage configurations and it started off at $750. Now, people did not like the display at all, and they didn't like the one camera on the back because it was downgraded from the two cameras found on the iPhone XS, and the XS also had an OLED display. On the iPhone XR is actually not that bad. Despite it being an LCD and a lower resolution, it's still perfectly fine, especially here in 2026. However, the brightness is a real issue. You can barely see the phone in direct sunlight, and when it's cloudy, the brightness is maxed out. It's visible, but it should be brighter. Now, in this setting as well, sunset, it's maxed out on brightness. You can see it, but you can tell it's not the brightest display. Now, at the top, you have Face ID, which works really good, no complaints with it. This phone currently runs iOS 18. It did not get support for iOS 26, which makes sense of the age. It's 7 years old, and the 812 is not that strong anymore to run this version of iOS. But even on the current version that it's on, it still runs okay. I wouldn't try to do anything remotely demanding on this phone because it will crash. But if you're like a basic user, as you can see, it works perfectly smooth and fine. App support will still get continued for a couple of years, even though it's outdated. As you can see, most of these apps require at least iOS 12 or iOS 14. Playing Clash Royale is no issue. As you can see, even in a screen recording, which is harder for the phone to do, it's still smooth. There is no delay in the game at all. But playing heavier games is where you're going to notice the phone heating up more and definitely lagging. One thing that you'll definitely see this in is the battery life. Now, for me, the battery life is pretty mixed. I get 3 to 5 hours of screen on time, and that's about using 100% of the battery. Now, my capacity is at 88%, which is good for 4 years, but I would recommend for like a light user. I wouldn't recommend a medium user because you probably wouldn't be satisfied with the battery of this phone. The cameras on this phone are definitely not something to worry about. I will upload a full in-depth camera review, but other than that, this phone uses LTE, not 5G, and it comes with a base of 64 gigabytes of storage, which is not enough in my opinion, and I've had to delete many apps in order to free up the space and prevent the phone from crashing. Overall, though, this phone is still a decent value, although I would recommend picking up the iPhone XS instead, as it's only $10 more expensive and you get the nicer screen, the better cameras, and the extra gigabyte of RAM for games and multitasking and whatever you will need your phone for. And that extra gigabyte of RAM will help your phone last longer. So the XR doesn't really make that much sense when the XS is only $10 more.